Welcome to the Panelboard tutorial. An app created for iPhones, iPads, Macs, and a module as part of our electrical calculator apps. I have included links to the different sections of the video, so feel free to skip ahead to a specific section you may need help with. Now, let's go ahead and open up the app. When you first open a panel legend, the default legend will appear. A 42-circuit, 3-phase legend. Before we go into the editing, let's go through all the buttons on the screen and what they do. We will start in the top toolbar. The button on the far left of your screen is the back button. This button will return you to the project detail screen. The center of the toolbar contains the name of your panel board. This can be changed by pressing on it, and then by pressing on the Rename button. The next button in the top toolbar is the Information button. This button will open a sheet, where you can also change the name of your panel board. Also from this sheet, you can enter a location, and create notes. The button in the top right corner is the Share button. Pressing this button will bring up Apple's standard share sheet, allowing you to print, email, text, or otherwise share your panel legend, depending on what other apps you have installed. Next, you'll see a bar of buttons just above your panel legend. The button on the left opens the panel legend settings screen. This is where you will adjust things such as size of your legend, number of circuits, legend style, and much more. The button on the far right will open the circuit editing screen, where you will edit any and all selected circuits. We will dive deeper into both these buttons shortly, as they will be used often when creating your panel legend. The 5 buttons in the middle are for circuit selection. Circuits can be selected individually by clicking on a circuit number in the legend. However, these 4 buttons allow for a quick selection of large groups of circuits. The button on the left will deselect all circuits. The next button will select all circuits on the left. The button in the center will invert your selection. The next button will select all circuits on the right. And the final button will select all of your circuits. Now, let's look at the buttons on the bottom bar of the app. The first button on the bottom bar is the Paintbrush button. Pressing this button will draw in phase coloring to your circuit numbers. It's a toggle button. Pressing it again will turn off your phase coloring. Be aware, setting your panel to single phase or 3-phase will affect the coloring of the circuits. The next pair of buttons look like a magnifying glass with a plus and a magnifying glass with a minus. This pair of buttons allows you to zoom in and zoom out on your panel legend. The zoom factor will not affect the physical size of the legend, but does allow you to easily work on larger legends that may be difficult to see on the screen. The next pair of buttons allow you to increase the number of poles and decrease the number of poles on any selected circuit. Simply select the circuit you want to adjust and click the plus button once to create a 2-pole breaker. Pressing again will create a 3-pole breaker. By selecting the first circuit in a multipole breaker and pressing the minus button, you can revert that breaker back to less poles. You can also adjust multiple selected circuits at once. For example, let's create 3 2-pole breakers. I will select circuits 1, 5, and 9, then press the poles plus button. Now we have 3 2-pole breakers. And the final pair of buttons are for font sizing. Press the large font button to increase the font size on selected circuits. And press the small font button to decrease the font size on any selected circuit. Font size and pole number can also be changed from the circuit editing screen, but these buttons allow it to be done quickly and easily from the main screen. I am not going to go through every setting, and button in the panel editing screen or the circuit editing screen. However, I am going to walk through creating an example panel legend and demonstrate the use of both screens. Our first stop, when creating a new legend, should be at the panel edit screen. Press the panel edit button to display this screen. The white, top portion of this screen displays the size of your legend in inches and in centimeters. This section is a preview and cannot be directly edited. The size section is where you will enter the physical size of your panel's legend. If you simply enter a number, the app will assume it is inches. You can also include a unit by entering IN or cm for inches and centimeters respectively. When you print your legend, ensure that the printer options are set to not perform any scaling. If your printer's scale is at 100%, the legend will print the exact right size. The location section will allow you to enter where the panel is located within the building. The default value is set to electrical room. The circuit section is where you will set up the numbering and order of your panel's circuits. By adjusting the numbers here, you can set up nearly any type of panel scheme. Select the Use Tandem button to create A and B breaker numbering. Be aware that the tandem setup will not double the circuit count. So, a 40 circuit panel with tandems will end at 20B. To create non-tandem breakers in a panel you have set up as tandem, simply adjust the poles to 2 for any non-tandem breaker. The Style section allows you to select from a list of different styles and arrangements of legends. For example, certain panels have circuit number in the center and other have numbering on the outsides. Also, the style selected will determine whether overcurrent sizing is displayed or not. The final section is for phase coloring. Phase coloring turned on will display the phase coloring on each circuit number of the panel. This coloring will depend on whether the panel is single or three-phase. To set the default colors for phasing, you will need to return to the settings screen. From the settings screen, the three-phase colors can be selected. Now, let's edit the header by pressing the header of the panel legend to bring up the header detail screen. The white, top portion of this screen is a preview of what your header will look like. You cannot edit anything in this section. The lower portion of the screen is all the different settings to edit the header. The first setting is the text that will appear in the header. This can be anything from the panel name to the address or location. Remember that you also have a subheader that we will be going over next. I typically put the panel name or tag in the header and the panel size and specs in the subheader. The second setting is the height of the header in pixels. Press the minus and plus buttons to decrease or increase the height. You will see the results in the preview section at the top of the screen, as well as the height indicated in inches and centimeters. The third setting is the size of your font. Press the minus and plus buttons to decrease or increase the height. You will see the results in the preview section at the top of the screen. The fourth setting is your font. Press the font name to open a list of all available fonts to choose from. You will see the results in the preview section at the top of the screen. The final two settings are foreground and background color. Press the color to bring up a list of available colors to choose from. You will see the results in the preview section at the top of the screen. Now let's edit the subheader. Press the subheader in the legend to open the subheader detail screen. Editing the subheader is identical to the header, so we won't repeat ourselves. To edit a single circuit, simply press on that circuit's description and the circuit detail screen will appear. The top of this screen will display what circuit number you are working on. The description field will allow you to enter a circuit description. The amperage field will allow you to enter an overcurrent size. The background color selector will allow you to select the background color from an available colors list. And finally, the notes section allows you to enter any notes you may desire for this circuit. Many more options can be changed for your circuits from the Circuit Edit screen. We will go over the Circuit Edit screen later in the video. To edit multiple circuits, we will use the Circuit Edit screen. The Circuit Edit screen can be used for a single circuit as well. However, the Circuit Detail screen is typically more efficient for single circuits. To start, we will need to select the circuits we wish to edit. This can be done using the Quick Selection bar, or by pressing individual circuit numbers. Once our desired circuits are selected, press the Circuit Edit button. The white, top portion of this screen is a preview of what your circuit will look like. You cannot edit anything in this section. The lower portion of the screen is all the different settings to edit the circuit description, the circuit amperage, and the circuit numbering. The circuit description section is where you will enter the circuit description, the description font size, the description font type, the description foreground color, the description background color, and the number of poles. The circuit amperage section is where you will enter the overcurrent size, the amperage font size, the amperage foreground color, and the amperage background color. The circuit numbering section is where you will enter circuit number font size, the circuit number foreground color, and the circuit number background color. Once we exit the circuit editing screen, all the selected circuits will update with our new settings. Thank you for watching this tutorial video. Taking the time to learn the app will greatly increase your ability to quickly and accurately create schedules. At this point, I would suggest either experimenting with the app and learning with a hands-on approach, or viewing more of our video tutorials. Remember that all the tutorials and manuals are accessible from the app's help screen. If you really get stuck with something, or you need to report an issue, our email link is also available from the help screen. Please like and subscribe to our channel, as we are frequently posting refreshed video tutorials and news about our apps. Once again, thank you for watching, and have a great day.